Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. I'm just out here enjoying the scenery. If you couldn't guess, this is not New York City. So, so today I wanted to discuss this JW Batteries lawsuit again that is happening with Future Motion. Future Motion is the company that makes the one-wheeled electric skateboard thing. And the problem that the Jim, who owns JW Batteries, is having is he's being sued by Future Motion. And Future Motion has a lot more money than he does, so this is something that kind of sucks for him. Now what he did, and please do correct me if I'm wrong, I am speculating based on my interview with Josh Haley. Josh explained it perfectly to me. Because I'm an idiot, I forgot it since it's been 2 weeks since I had the interview with him. They have some sort of amp hour limit on this device. So let's say your battery is 5 amp hours, right? Let's say you put a 10 amp hour extended battery into your device because you want it to last longer. They have some sort of amp hour limit. So even if you have a battery that's 10 amp hours, and if the skateboard was made for 5 amp hours, once you've used up 5 amp hours of battery, it turns itself off, even if you put a larger battery in. Something like that. And they figured out a way around this. So JW Batteries has some chip that you put in so that you could install extended batteries and do whatever the F you want with what you purchased, which is how the world used to be before every Silicon Valley dickhead decided that they were the self-styled masters of the universe that knew better than you on how to use the products that you bought and paid for. Anyway, so they came out with this chip, and they are getting sued as a result of it. Now, Leonard French, Lawful Master with Leonard French, is a great YouTube channel. He's a great dude. He discusses all different types of cases. I'll link his channel down below for people interested. And he goes over this case. He goes over many cases in a manner where even idiots like me can understand. I really like his channel. It's good stuff. The problem with his video that he did recently is that I don't think a lot of people watch it to the end. So a lot of people have been commenting and emailing me saying, what do you think of the fact that JW Batteries won their lawsuit against Future Motion? And there's 2 reasons that I don't see this to be a win. So if you get to the end of Leonard French's video, if you actually watched it all the way through, you'll note 2 things. The first is that they did not win everything. What they won was a jurisdiction battle. So whether or not the case takes place in California or Texas is what they were fighting over. They weren't fighting over whether or not what JW Batteries did was actually legal and correct. They're simply fighting over where the case is going to be argued. So that was done, and that was done in JW Batteries in Jim's favor. So they would have to do the case in Texas. The second thing to understand here is that he spent over $100,000 so far, and he was able to raise somewhere between $10,000 and $13,000 from a lot of generous people in the community to help him with this lawsuit. Now, I don't want to speculate too much on Jim's business, but if you have an idea of he was selling this stuff back when the one wheel was not really the most popular thing in the world. He's selling stuff at not the highest profit margins to a very niche community of users. Again, he's not selling, he's not selling like brake pads to a Toyota Corolla. He's selling, a chip to modify a one-wheel electric skateboard kind of thing. This is not something that everybody in America has. So when he spends over $100,000 on his case, even if he wins, you have to understand how this works as a business owner. That is still a loss. If you spend $100,000 out of pocket to fight a case and you win, if you are Pfizer, if you are Procter & Gamble, if you're IBM, you won. If you're a dude that has a normal everyday day job who's just doing this business out of his garage or out of a small office as a side gig, 100, even when you win, did you really win? I can't say exactly how much money his business makes. I'm just going to take a wild guess based on the amount of people that this particular very niche product and service applies to, that having $100K just yoinked out of your bank account like that ain't really a win. Now, the next thing you have to understand at the end of Leonard French's video is that he said that Future Motion told Jim that they intend to refile in Texas. So in Leonard French's video, at the end of it, he says that Jim told him that Future Motion's lawyers said, by the way, we fully intend to refile this in Texas. I don't know exactly how that conversation went. I'm just going on what Leonard French said in his video, and I have no reason to distrust what he said. But if the battle was over jurisdiction and they lost the jurisdiction battle, that doesn't mean that they actually lost the case. That doesn't mean that they've lost the case on the merits. That simply means that they now need to travel to Texas and file over there, which will cost Future Motion money. But again, who has more money? Future Motion or Jim at JW Batteries? I spoke with Jim a few weeks ago. I forget exactly what he said he did. He was some engineer for a particular company. I don't think he's broke. It's just, again, even if somebody is doing well for themselves, yoinking $100,000 out of their bank account and then having to spend another $200,000 to $400,000 fighting the case, that could easily blow through somebody's retirement fund. probably going to destroy a business of that size, and it could easily bankrupt them. So it's not really a win. So the reason I'm doing this video is because from what I'm being emailed and from what I'm reading in my comment section, a lot of people appear to have the idea that JW Batteries has won. They didn't. They won one small battle, and I would dare still say that that is a loss, because in order to win that jurisdiction battle, he had to spend $100,000. I don't really care if I win a fight if I walk away from that fight bleeding a liter of blood a minute out of my neck. You know, like, I won the fight, the guy got knocked out, but I'm going to walk away dead a few minutes later. It doesn't really matter to me at that point if I won. And one thing that was really exciting to me, and probably to a lot of the one-wheel community, and particularly to Jim, is that one-wheel finally made it to Linus's radar. I saw he did a video in all caps, "Don't buy a one-wheel." I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't had time to actually view that video yet. I only got about 5 hours of sleep the day that I drove to Albany. I haven't really viewed that video yet, and I've just been taking today to kind of relax a little bit. But just knowing that it's on Linus's radar means that it probably has a chance of making its way a little bit more mainstream to more people. And I think that that's the only thing that's going to stop a company like Future Motion from trying to destroy smaller people who are just trying to produce products and services that make their product better. I don't think that Jim, and I'm not saying that Jim's a bad person or that he doesn't run a good business. Please don't misquote me there. But I don't think that Jim has a chance of winning this, like just going to court and fighting it that way. I think that the only chance that he has is if enough people who have much larger profiles than I do point out what is going on here in a manner that makes it indefensible for Future Motion to continue taking legal action against those types of small businesses that service customers and offer them options and services that they're not willing to offer themselves. And I was happy to see that Linus did that. It would be really cool to see Linus actually talk to Josh Haley from Fiction Factory Boardworks, the guy that I had on for 2 interviews. I think that would be a particularly cool video, and it would be cool if other people in that community, or in the YouTube community in general, kind of started covering that stuff to some extent. You don't even have to really go into the issues with the product or a lot of the stuff we do in those videos. I think that just really honing in and getting people to focus on the fact that when you give money to that business, you're giving money to a business that is, in my opinion, doing their best to destroy a small business because they created a chip that allows you to choose the battery that you put into a product that you pay $1,000 to $2,000 for. I think that reaching critical mass would force them to reverse course and allow Jim to walk away somewhat injured financially, but not completely and utterly destroyed, which is what I imagine would happen. When I spoke to him, he said that even after this jurisdiction thing, you're easily looking at spending like another $250 to $400K on this case. And again, this is Eli, the computer guy, used to say this in his videos, that we have in America. He said we have it's a legal system. I forget what he said. It was like, it's not a justice system, it's a legal system. It is what it is. Even when you win, a lot of the time you lose. This triggers the crap out of me when I see people mention it in comments. Anytime there's any sort of small dispute, they say, just sue. Why don't you sue? Why don't you sue? And it's like, have you ever actually sued or been sued as a business owner before? I mean, it's just, again, the amount of time, the amount of money that you are going to spend doing that is almost always going to be more than what you ever have a chance of winning. So I'm kind of happy to see that Linus covered that. That made me happy. And just for anybody watching, please do understand that simply because Jim won the jurisdiction battle, that does not mean in any way, shape, or form that he has won. Still hasn't won the case. And even if he did win the case, the amount of money that he's going to spend to do it, I'm pretty sure he's going to walk away feeling like, in some small way, shape, or form, that he lost. Like the moment you get the yes moment, and it's kind of like in Law and Order when the person who is on trial for murder, he's so nervous about everything. He's like, yes, I won, and then right after that he realizes, wait a second, okay, cool, I'm not going to jail, but I'm broke for the rest of my life. What do I do? So I'll see y'all later. I'm going to enjoy the view over here for a little bit in the quiet, get bit by a couple more mosquitoes before I head home. Really nice scenery here. Gotta sometimes just kind of stop and enjoy the water. It's nice when it's actually warm enough to stop and enjoy it, New Hampshire in the spring is much nicer than New Hampshire in January when it's negative 14 degrees. Like the spring. Don't really like the negative 14 degree thing. See y'all later. Bye now.